Ethan Carter never believed in fate. He loved order, logic, certainty. But the day he met Sophia Hayes, that straight line twisted into something else entirely. It started like any other Monday. Ethan sat in his usual spot in the school courtyard, under the shade of an old maple tree, flipping through his calculus textbook. The murmur of students around him blended into white noise until he heard a voice say his name. Ethan Carter. He looked up. A girl stood before him, her dark brown eyes locked onto his with unsettling intensity. She was beautiful in an effortless way, wavy chestnut hair that caught the sunlight, soft features, and a quiet confidence in her stance. But it was her expression that struck him most. It wasn't the look of someone meeting a stranger. It was the look of someone seeing something precious they thought they'd lost. Yeah? He said hesitantly. She let out a soft, relieved laugh, as if hearing his voice was confirmation of something important. Then, with a smile that was both nervous and excited, she said, "I finally found you." Ethan blinked. "Do I know you?" A pause. Then she said something that made no sense at all. "Not yet, but you will." That was the moment everything changed. "I'm your future wife." Ethan stared at her, certain he had misheard. Sophia's smile widened slightly, like she had expected his disbelief. "I know how crazy that sounds, but it's the truth." He shut his book. "Okay, look, if this is some kind of joke, it's not." She leaned forward, lowering her voice. "I came back to this time to stop you from making a mistake that ruins everything." Ethan almost laughed. Almost. But something about the way she said it, the seriousness in her tone, the way she watched his reaction made it clear she wasn't joking. "I don't even know you," he said finally. "I know, but I know you," she countered. "I know that you hate pineapple on pizza, that you keep an emergency notebook in your backpack because you're scared of forgetting things, that you always look up at the sky before making a big decision, like you're searching for answers." Ethan stiffened. Those were small, personal details. Things only close friends or someone much closer would know. "Who told you that?" he asked. Her expression softened. "You did." His pulse quickened. She was messing with him. She had to be. "I don't know how you know those things, but this is ridiculous." He stood up, slinging his backpack over his shoulder. "If this is some elaborate prank, you can." "I can prove it," she interrupted. Ethan hesitated. She held out her hand, palm up. "Give me your phone." He frowned but handed it over. Sophia tapped the screen, typing something into the calculator app. When she passed it back, his stomach dropped. A date. November 17, 2034. 10 years in the future. Ethan swallowed. "What is this supposed to mean?" Sophia tilted her head. "Check your bank account tomorrow. You'll receive an unexpected deposit, exactly 237.42. A refund for a subscription you forgot to cancel." His skepticism faltered. "How could you possibly know that?" "Because it already happened. To you. To us." Ethan couldn't respond. He wasn't sure if he should feel intrigued or terrified. Sophia took a step closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. "Please, Ethan. You don't have to believe me right now, but just don't ignore me, okay? If you do, everything will fall apart." Then, before he could say anything else, she turned and walked away, leaving him standing there, his mind a whirlwind of confusion, the doubt that lingers. The rest of the day was a blur. Ethan barely paid attention in class, his thoughts circling back to Sophia's words. At lunch, his best friend Adam waved a hand in front of his face. "Dude, are you even listening?" Ethan snapped back to reality. Yeah. What were you saying?" Adam rolled his eyes. "I was saying, who was that girl who talked to you earlier? She was kinda intense." Ethan hesitated. "Just someone I don't really know." "Didn't look like it," Adam teased. "She stared at you like you were the last donut on earth." Ethan forced a laugh, but inside, unease settled in. Who was Sophia, really? And how did she know so much about him? That night, he lay staring at the ceiling, unable to shake the encounter from his mind. Tomorrow, he would check his bank account. If there was no refund, then Sophia was just a girl with a strange sense of humor. But if she was right, then his life was about to get a lot more complicated.